and you can't stop what's destined to happen. Then go to class, but the trap is still the distance subtraction. Cop a pack and then double the.
Alright, y'all, we gonna make this, I don't know why the sleeve is up, don't mind me. But hey, we're gonna make this video plain and simple, you know what I'm saying? Not too much talking, not too much, you know? I'm bullshit. But anyway, shout out to my guy, Evan Falarka. The Falarka. Evan's my guy. But yeah, man, so basically in this video, he's gonna be explaining or talking about, you know, the top 5 heroes that we must have in Marvel's Avengers, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna tell you my top 5. I probably don't have a top 5, but I might have a top 5. I don't know yet. Let's get into the video, though. Straight to it.
Thor, what's your status?
There are humans trapped, and lots of small, angry men with guns.
Is that a joke? Did Thor make a joke?
I don't care.
Well, I for one do care. Anyways, welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another very exciting Avengers Project related video. So as you should all know by now is that it was confirmed that Marvel's Avengers is going to be a game that will include an ever-growing roster of characters and regions that will be added into the game for years to come. And given the fact that the starting roster of characters that we do have so far includes the primary Avengers team with that of Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Black Widow, along with the small tease of Ant-Man by the end of the Square Enix Live E3 presentation on June 10th, there are still a lot of questions as to which heroes could be added to the game. And don't worry for all you Hawkeye fans out there who were wondering where Clint was during the main trailer, because Bill Roseman did state on Twitter after the main presentation did happen on June 10th by simply saying, "Hey Hawkeye fans, we hear you and we love Clint too. Stay tuned, true believers, hashtag reassemble, hashtag play Avengers." So even though we didn't see Hawkeye appear within the Avengers Project reveal trailer at E3 2019, there is a high chance that he could be added in the main game by the time it does release on May 15th, 2020, or possibly added as an expansion character that will be added down the line. But on the flip side, given everything that we do currently know about the Avengers Project, as well as what the plans hold in store for Square Enix's other Marvel games that will come down the line, I do think that it's safe to say that there will probably be a low possibility of us receiving characters like that of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Defenders, and possibly even the Fantastic Four appear within Marvel's Avengers. This is mainly because it's already been heavily rumored and leaked that the next Marvel and Square Enix game that will come out after the Avengers Project is a fully open world and explorable Guardians of the Galaxy AAA game. So even though there is a chance that we could possibly see characters like that of Star-Lord, Daredevil, Mr. Fantastic, and possibly some X-Men be featured within the Avengers Project roster in the future, my main list of the top 5 must-have characters to be featured in Marvel's Avengers mainly relates to the main team that is formed within the comics. And even though this list isn't formed in any particular order, these are just the top 5 characters I definitely think would be awesome to see be playable within Marvel's Avengers. And to start off, of course, we have the one and only Black Panther. This is obviously a no-brainer to include a character like T'Challa within the Avengers Project. Not only is Black Panther one of the biggest members of the Avengers, but people have been clamoring for a AAA Black Panther game for forever now. Not to mention that everything related to Black Panther would totally be well suited for everything involved within this game, ranging from customization, awesome superpowered moves, and his incredible agility. And who knows, maybe one of the other regions that could be added to the game alongside of Black Panther, besides what we currently have already with San Francisco and what I believe to be AIM Island, is none other than the main homeland of Wakanda. And alongside of having some incredibly powerful combat capabilities and some possible stealth sections with a character like T'Challa, I think Black Panther would be absolutely perfect for a game like Marvel's Avengers. Now moving on from a character that mainly relates to the more natural side of the Marvel spectrum to of course a character that primarily relates to everything supernatural is of course none other than the Sorcerer Supreme himself, Doctor Strange. Now unlike Black Panther, who's much more of a grounded level Marvel character, Doctor Strange is anything but. Everything that Steven uses, ranging from all of his mystic spells as well as his cloak of levitation which allows him to fly above ground, could totally work well for the gameplay aesthetics within Marvel's Avengers. Plus, not only would it be awesome to fully upgrade Doctor Strange to make his mystic spells even more powerful, but I also think he would have some really great chemistry with all the Avengers in general. Now even though it looks like there will be an incredible amount of action and awesome set pieces within Marvel's Avengers, I still think this will be a generally grounded story within the overall Marvel universe and the main characters that will be involved in the narrative. But adding in a character like Doctor Strange to add in a more supernatural element within the overall world of Marvel, and him interacting with Avengers like that of Tony Stark and also Hank Pym and Bruce Banner, would be absolutely awesome to say the least. And knowing that we currently have 2 flying heroes on the main roster with that of Thor and Iron Man, I definitely think that adding Doctor Strange within the game after it releases on May 15th is definitely a realistic possibility. Now up next is a character that I not only think will be incredibly incredibly well used within the overall world of Marvel's Avengers and all the gameplay that comes along with it, but I also believe that she is already heavily teased within the game trailers itself. And yes, I do believe this character has been slightly hinted at within both of the very first announcement trailer of the Avengers project all the way back in 2017 and the newest A-Day trailer revealed at E3 2019. And given that the Avengers' new helicarrier of the Chimera was using a brand new energy source of the Terrigen reactor, this also fully relates to what the origin of this particular character is. And even after all these teases and hints to her character possibly being featured within the Avengers project universe, I still think the gameplay that she could have in Marvel's Avengers would be absolutely awesome to say the least. And if you haven't guessed it already, I'm of course talking about none other than Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. Given the much more youthful vibe of the woman narrating both of the previous Avengers trailers and what we know about the story so far, I do think it is very much likely that the girl could possibly turn out to be Miss Marvel, and the gameplay that she could have in the Avengers project will be absolutely incredible. Not only do I think it would be a really bold move on Marvel's part to actually include Miss Marvel in a fully AAA Marvel game, but I also think the interactions that she would have with the Avengers would be really fun to say the least. Given that Kamala herself is a major Avengers fangirl, I do think seeing the story from her perspective would be a really interesting take on the Avengers narrative. Not to mention that the specific power set that Kamala uses would be extremely different from the other Avengers in the main roster and would be really fun and interesting to progress down the line with the future upgrades that you could unlock. So not only do I think that Miss Marvel could be a really fun character to play as within Marvel's Avengers, but I also believe that she is going to be featured within the main narrative of the game itself. But I guess we'll just have to wait until May 15th of 2020 to find out for sure. Now, as we move on to the second to last hero on this list, not only would he be yet again another flying character, but I also think he would add a lot more depth to the overall playstyles of the general roster. Besides having the power to fly, enhanced strength, laser blast, and even phasing capabilities, I definitely think he would be a character well used within the overall world of the Avengers. And mainly, I'm talking about the sophisticated android himself of Vision. Just like Iron Man himself, Vision would be able to fly around and shoot lasers in the main hub world that you are currently exploring, but also have some different combat maneuvers in really interesting fighting scenarios. But what I find the most interesting is that if Vision does turn out to be featured within the Avengers project, it would also relate to what his possible origin could be within the game's universe. There is a possibility that they could make his origin similar to that within the MCU, but given that this is an original story, I do think that they could either stick with the main storyline from the comics or again do something a bit different that we haven't seen before. So if that means that Ultron could possibly be in this game in order to create Vision in a certain way similar to that of the comics, given that Ant-Man is the one who creates Ultron instead of that of Tony Stark, I think there could be a lot of interesting factors to his inclusion in the story for this game. Or, since we do know that the main 5 heroes that we do have so far of Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America, and Black Widow are going to be the main focus of the Avengers project campaign, they could always add Vision down the line as just another character for fun and no story connection whatsoever. Although, it does sound like everyone involved within the game's development, like that of Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, Marvel Games, and Square Enix, are devoted into making a really well-crafted narrative that all the Avengers fans will truly love. So besides including him for some very cool gameplay mechanics and interesting story points, I do think Vision would just be a really cool character to add within Marvel's Avengers in general. And finally, as we move on to the last hero of this list, I still personally believe him to be the most important character that needs to be included within the overall roster of Marvel's Avengers. Not only was he already slightly teased back during the E3 2019 presentation, but I also believe if they do include him in this game, it could finally start the ever-growing Marvel gaming universe within the overall world of Marvel games. And just like how the MCU was a game changer for superhero films, having them all connect with one another, if Marvel games were to do a similar path by connecting their games into one singular universe, this would be a truly innovative and expansive experience within the world of superhero video games. Not to mention that this would just be downright fan service for Marvel fans everywhere, and specifically for fans of this particular character. And of course, you obviously all know who I'm talking about right now is none other than the webhead himself, the amazing Spider-Man. We already have a ton of evidence that directly connects the Avengers project and Spider-Man PS4 into one singular world, but I also think given the PS4 teases that were hinted at E3 2019, I do believe that the extra benefits that Scott Amos was talking about during that presentation relates to Spider-Man being included within the Avengers project roster. And for me personally, not only would it be awesome to see Spider-Man fully traverse around the multiple hub worlds that will be included within Marvel's Avengers, but I would also love to see how Crystal could expand upon Spider-Man's combat within the Avengers project gameplay. And besides, hearing Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker interacting with Nolan North as Tony Stark and Troy Baker as Bruce Banner would be absolutely amazing to say the least. So adding on from Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Miss Marvel, and Vision, I do believe Spider-Man is in fact the most important must-have character to be featured within the overall roster of Marvel's Avengers. But still, if we end up receiving at least one of these characters within the growing roster of Marvel's Avengers, I can say that the expanded content to be added for this game is definitely going to be exciting to say the least.
Absolutely.
And until the game fully releases on May 15th, 2020, I'll just be crossing my fingers and hope for the best to see which characters could be added within the Avengers project. But with all that said, everyone, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of my list of the top 5 must-have heroes to be featured within Marvel's Avengers, and what is your personal top 5 picks for the characters you want to see in the game itself? Besides Insomniac's Spider-Man obviously being my top pick, I do genuinely believe that Black Panther is going to be a highlight to be featured in this game. And even though we don't have any official concrete information that these characters will be added, I do think it is a pretty safe bet nonetheless. And hopefully whatever character Marvel, Crystal, Square, and Eidos decide to show off next is one that will definitely blow all of our expectations out of the water. And until next time, true believers, thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, and peace out.
Alright, we done with this video. Shout out to my guy Evan again for dropping his banger. So listen, man, listen. My top 5 right here. We gonna go by my top 5 and then we out of here because I gotta edit this video and I gotta bounce. And I gotta hey, my YouTube streaming is back. We streaming tonight. Alright? We streaming late tonight too, alright? So stay tuned for that shit. This is my fucking top 5. My top 5 is Spider-Man. There's no order. Spider-Man. Gotta have that nigga, you know what I'm saying? Wolverine, but I'm pretty sure X-Men is probably gonna be involved some type of way. One way or another, but we gotta have the Wolverine. Wolverine was an Avenger, bro. At one point, he was an Avenger. I know you remember the cartoon movie, bro. I know you remember the Avengers movie, the cartoon and everything. That shit was crazy as hell, bro. But, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Black Panther. He already said Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? Doctor Strange, that's my guy. That's my guy. Number 5 is the hard one. I don't know about number 5. Damn, I really don't fucking know. Well, I guess number 5 gonna be some random person, I guess. I don't know. I don't know number 5. I just got a top 4 for now. If you enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Please turn on notifications to get notified when I upload in 3. You feel me? Yeah, man, I'm out of here, bro. Y'all take it easy. I'm gonna try to stream tonight. Hopefully I don't be tired. And we will see. We will see. It's your boy JosephWitty. I'm out of here, man.
Yeah, I be rolling with it. Keep it close so I ain't tripping. Now with the shatter, it don't matter. Got them ladders, bro, no splash. I need a payment for 5s on me. You can't face it. 100s on me. You can't take it. AR on me and I flame it. No see this and this shit blatant. I'm a monster when I pop up. When I spot you with some Glocks, I'll block a mess and need a mop up. I'm spinning blocks. I'm sending shots.